Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Ancient Legends Challenge. In the last episode, we unfortunately lost quite a few members of our tribe, including our poor saber soldiers. Snowshoe and Amanda were never able to start a family, so unfortunately they don't have any heirs to give us, nobody to protect the royal line. But their sacrifice didn't go in vain. Some of the babies were watching very closely, and I feel like Croissant and maybe even his sister Magic would be willing to carry the torch. They might not have the saber fangs, but they do have the heart for it, so I think their ways are going to get to live on after all. Lolly is just about to set off on their journey as well. After she took the healing fruit that her sister gave her, she's feeling very invigorated. She's feeling in tip-top shape once more. So I guess she's going to say just one last goodbye to her sister. She does have a root over here that she can dig up, and I guess that would be a way of setting her remains to rest. Then we should be able to bring her out of the grasses, and maybe we should have a dewdrop just light up the path for her. Maybe he's getting a little bit concerned because she disappeared off into the grass, so we'll bring her up here. Oh no! To scare the moles, the very same mole that her sister caught before. That's kind of sad. Well, at least we can bring you into the tide pools so you can get ready to guide all of your friends to the ports. Or I guess everybody back together? I mean, our tribe is so scattered now. We have the twins way up here, completely lost in all the grasses. We have Dukarim and his family butting right by the ports themselves. So she's really going to have a lot of work to do if she wants to bring everybody together again. But I guess that would be a good way to honor her mother's memory too, since that's kind of what she did before. So Magic, come on over here and pick up the last of these acorns for us. This is going to be our last chance to gather from this tree. And of course we'll have Tara do the same. Her half-siblings might be interested in methods of war, but I feel like she's going to be a little bit more connected to Dewdrop's role. Maybe she'll be the one to carry on the ways of the school, once he's passed away too. It's kind of funny because she's actually not his blood child. She was a daughter of Tusk, but she has really grown to admire Dewdrop in her father's absence. I don't believe Tara even got the chance to meet her father, because she was born on this island after Tusk had already passed away. So it's nice that she was able to find a father figure in him. Now, Croissant isn't going to be able to pick up this shell, but he could at least mark it off for one of our other creatures. Oh no, and it looks like Magic is going to get stuck by a leech. Everybody is all done with their turns over here, so I don't think we're going to be able to avoid it. Sometimes the leeches are cautious, like much more so than you would expect of them, so we can cross our fingers, but most likely we're going to have to rescue her on the next turn. So Sapphire, if we scoot you on over here, maybe we could have another baby between you and Duke? I'm sure that he is just like over the moon right now. He never thought he would get the chance to start a family like this. It was just never in the stars for him, what with the cold way that his mother raised him. I feel like he probably still has a little bit of trouble showing his true feelings. Like he probably feels a little bit silly with how happy he is right now, so he wants to try to play it cool. But he also wants to make sure that his babies know exactly how loved they are, because he knows how it feels to be missing that in your life. Now, as far as Ramee goes, I wonder if perhaps she could meet up with the twins? Like, I just don't know what else we can do for these poor little guys. They're getting so close to the end of their lifespan. We do have that rogue male wandering around here too. Now, the reason why they're out here is because they did actually, smell or hear a wanderer. They were trying to catch up to her, but I'm starting to wonder if she may have just passed away in the grass. Like, this might all just be a futile effort. So maybe Thunder has noticed that Pip is starting to slow down a little bit, thanks to his run-in with the coconuts, which was technically Thunder's fault. He does have one less day in his lifespan. And I mean, if we could only find a little bit of help, if we could actually find another healing fruit, that would be excellent. So let's have them start carving their way as best as they can through the grass. I'm leaving the smelling vision on just in case anything pops up that we need. But it looks like we're only going around that feast of berries that our creatures discovered off toward the swamps. I mean, at the very least, they will probably make it down to the shore, so there is a possibility that they could meet up with the rest of our tribe. But I'm not sure if they'll have the chance to start a family either. They might be doomed to the same fate as our saber soldiers. We're not gonna give up though. We'll have to bring Ramee over here so she can see the new little baby, I guess. You know, that might even stir some maternal instincts in her too, so she might be more willing to have a baby with our twins when she gets to them. But that should be the end of our turn here. So let's go straight back to Dukareem's nest, or Sapphire's rather, and we'll see what their next little baby is going to look like. I still have my fingers crossed for somebody with a heat body, but it looks like... Wait a second. Does she actually have it? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, you guys, she has the heat body! Oh, how cool does that look? Oh, I saw those tiny little orange spikes just sticking off of her side there. They're so hard to see in all of that grass. You can just barely see them, like right under that big digging trunk of hers. Oh, that is so, so cool. She has the digging trunk and the hammer tail too, so she's also quite strong. She's a very decorated member of the ancient legends. And I love that mask on her too. I love that big stripe like right down the middle of her digging trunk. She looks super, super cool. So she is officially our very first creature to be blessed by Melody herself. This family, for one reason or another, has received Melody's blessings. I wonder if that's because Dukareem has finally shown his true colors. Like he's finally come out of his shell a bit and he's accepted the love of a family. And I feel like that's all that Melody could have wanted. Like I said in the last episode, she was also ousted by her tribe, so I feel like love and acceptance is something that would attract her. So as for this little baby's name, the very first one with the heat body, quite fittingly, the next name on my list is actually Katniss. So welcome to our tribe, little one, the girl on fire. Alright, so I think we have to have another baby now. Like, we do still have enough nesting material, but we'll have to make sure that we gather all of these up before they start rotting away. Because part of the reason why we're spending so much time on this island is just to gather the nesting material. We certainly don't need it for the food. So if we have Dukareem scoot over this way this time? But then again, I guess we could just have Bellatrix come over here. She should be safe for just a moment by sitting next to Ramee, and the bluebird is so far away anyways. I'd be surprised if they even knew that it spawned on this island. That's more Lolly's concern at the moment. But gosh, now that we have a heat-bodied baby, it's pretty hard for us to have another one. I hate wasting all of those turns, but I guess there's not much that we can do. Ramee's no pause, making her a little bit slower than most of our other tribe mates as well. And I do believe that this is going to be Pip's final day. Oh, but at least I still have the company of that rogue male in the background. A sick rogue male, no less. Well, at least he doesn't have very much longer left on his lifespan, so I guess if Ramee does make it up there, she won't have to worry about him getting in the way of their family. But let's go take care of this leech. I completely forgot about this, Tara. If you come on over here, you can pick that off of your sister. And then I did notice that there are some shells down here. But I think we're going to have Magic catch up to her brother instead, because I don't want her getting too far away, and she probably wants to pick up the shell that he found anyways. So these two are kind of taking point for our leader, which I'm sure she definitely appreciates. She was a little bit more timid than her sister was, so I guess she would be soothed by having such strong soldiers right by her side, chasing after the bunnies as well, picking off little morsels for her to eat. We'll have her come over here and pick up that meat on the next turn. They have to guard it after all to keep it away from the greedy talons of the bluebirds. I wonder why this guy is going toward the jungles? It looks like that's where he's swooping over. Maybe this was where that rogue creature wandered off to? I don't know, it seemed like she was following the stream upwards. It really seemed like we were going to run into her over here. I just don't know what could have happened unless she met an unfortunate fate. Like maybe she found one of the many, many Berginas on this island. So Thunder, I think all you can really do at this point is try to guide your brother safely to the shores. Oh, there's even a nest out here. That would be the perfect place for Ramee to settle down. Oh no, and with the short-sighted eyes as well. It is going to be so, so hard for her to make her way there. I guess we'll have to have her cut through the grass. That might be our only shot. Maybe Thunder can come down here. We can have Pip follow. Yeah, they might actually just barely be able to meet up with her. It won't be Pip, I'm afraid. He's going to be passing away. So Thunder, I guess all you can really do is offer up these couple of roots. One last gift for you and your little twin brother to share. I really wish that it could have been more. I mean, for that matter, he probably would have enjoyed some fresh coconuts. That was one of their greatest adventures together after all. If they hadn't sought out the coconut trees, the Baragina that they conquered never would have even found them. I guess we'll just have to hope that history doesn't repeat itself here, because we certainly don't need them finding a Baragina on their last turns. So Tara, I think we'll probably bring you up here too. We don't want you getting too far behind. I'm sure that Dewdrop wouldn't mind waiting for you, but at the same time, we kind of want all of our creatures to go together at this point. We'll set him up over here. That way he could sniff into the tall grass for some more of those roots. But otherwise, I think we should be just about done with our turns. So let's go ahead and see what Sapphire's next baby is going to look like. Maybe we'll get lucky again. I mean, I feel like we were pretty lucky with this one, but it looks like we have yet another heat body in the nest. Oh, just one right after the next now. It looks like she even has a very, very similar mask too. Oh, how cute is that? The orange little spiky bits, the flames really blend in well with this coat. Oh, she is gorgeous too. Interesting how every single one of their babies has been a daughter. We're actually going to run quite low on males pretty soon if we're not careful, and we don't want to have to rely on the rogue males in the grass. So as for our second heat-bodied baby, a wonderful, wonderful omen. Your name is going to be Rayleigh? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Well, that's a very cute name. A cute name for yet another adorable heat-bodied daughter. And I think it might be time for you guys to just spend some time with your kids now. We're going to take a break on the baby making so they can start teaching their kids. After all, with their heat bodies, they have a lot riding on them. So maybe now would be a good chance for them to learn how to hunt. Bellatrix in particular must be very, very curious of this bunny hopping around behind her. Let's have her jump over here and swipe that up. Oh no, but we have another leech? Oh no, and it's gone to you, Thunder. Oh, of all the times. Well, we do have one creature who might be able to help you, and that would be a good way for these two to meet. Though it's still going to be rather tricky to get her through all of this grass. I guess you'd have to come over here, and that should light up the way just enough for her to come to your side. So before we have her pick off the leech, let's make sure that we set up their mutation menus, because this is our one and only shot to continue Thunder's family, to continue his line and carry on his brother's memory. It's a good thing that Thunder is so healthy, because Remay is a bit of a different story, with her short-sighted eyes and her deformed paws. The one silver lining is that she does have the big body and her inactive traits, so I guess there's a possibility we could weasel that onto our babies. And that's always good to keep in the mountains, of course. So we'll put the normal eyesight into her first slot, and then I suppose it could probably just be the running leg for the second one. That way we should hopefully be able to pass it over the deformed paw. We just don't want to see that too much in our tribe. Ooh, I forgot that you have the bird beak in your inactive traits. Ooh, that's interesting. I sure hope that Remay manages to pass the poison fangs. Otherwise, I guess we're probably going to see the derps now. I'm actually not even really sure what we could do for his genetics. I mean, he's one of the very few creatures who has perfect fertility, perfect eyesight. He has so many different ancient genes. I guess we could put the big body on him? I didn't even realize that that had unlocked in our mutation menu. So I guess that's one way that we could ensure it might pass to their one and only child. Yeah, let's just go ahead and fill up his mutation menu with the big body then. So we'll have him breed with her, and then you can go ahead and pick that leech right off of him. And I guess we might as well have her set down her nest right here. Like, this is a very, very fast relationship, but it's one that is necessary if we want to see that family survive. Alright, so Bellatrix has just caught her bunny. Maybe we'll have her mother come over here to help her pick up all of that meat. We could have her pick the berries too. That's what the bunny was after. I guess Bellatrix is going to be our little berry warrior, protecting every last one that she can see. And as for you, Duke, if you could find some of those roots, that would be a pretty good way for you to teach your kids. But I don't want you to leave your newest baby unattended, so I guess we'll just have you pick up all of the grass for now. And I suppose you could always pick up that nest too, just so we don't risk it withering away. We could probably have Katniss start toddling around the place. I feel like she would be raring for adventure. And you know, you guys actually aren't that far away anymore. Just one last beach to cover and then you should be right up against the ports again. So Croissant, go ahead and pick up that meat that you caught before. You can offer it right up to Lolly. And then we'll have her take point instead. She can come on up here, gaze down at the piranha as they circle in the water. Oh, that is a menacing sight. Especially with all the leeches that we've been dealing with lately. Maybe she'd call out to make sure that nobody is too close to the ocean then. We'll have Magic tear her way out of the tide pools and set up right at her side. Yeah, we'll have them take kind of the long way around, go through the grass just so we don't have any accidents. We don't need anybody getting torn apart by those piranha in the ocean. We have another stump too. I guess we never explored out this far into the grasslands. For the most part, we tend to stay right by the beaches. But we'll have Tara jump up there so she can scout around. And I suppose we could pick up just a couple of these coconuts for the road, right? It feels like a bit of a waste to just leave them there. Speaking of which, we have a couple of roots that we could pick up too. And those bunnies, of course. It looks like we managed to come across another one of the bunny burrows. And as always, another nest too. Right in front of Croissant, no less. I feel like he's gotta have a little bit of a crush on his leader at this point. It seems like the two of them are getting very close. The only problem is, there is the possibility for sick babies, so I'm not sure if we would want to breed them. But I mean, there's also the possibility that we could see the heat body yet again. I don't know, it's something for us to consider. I feel like the spiky body is probably going to take priority since they both do have it. But our luck today has been pretty incredible. So as Thunder mourns the loss of his twin, and as he celebrates the birth of his one and only child, we'll go ahead and skip the day, and we'll see if perhaps any of those important genetics have weaseled onto this baby. Well, he has the digging trunk and his inactives, the big body in there, the hammer tail, but for the most part, he's a pretty unassuming creature. He's just a little porcupine just like his mother. But thankfully he does have the running leg instead of the no paw, so at least we won't have to worry about that. He should actually be quite a bit faster than she was, so I bet he's going to be zipping all around the island before long. The next name on my list is Mammoth, so welcome to our tribe, little one. You know, I think the mammoth foot is like one of the only genes that we're missing now, so I wonder if that'll be good luck for our tribe. Maybe he'll be the one to discover the mammoth foot in the glaciers. Now we should be able to bring the rest of the tribe over to the ports on this turn. Wonder if Bellatrix would be the first one to notice them? I mean, they do make for quite the sight. They are a very, very large group of wanderers. And with all of those ancient genes on their side, even Bellatrix would know how important this gathering is. But to be honest, I think it's the sight of the heat body itself that's going to surprise our creatures more. Surprise our leader especially. Once Lolly sees those babies, she'll know without a doubt that now is the time for them to make their next move. Oh, and who do you think is going to be more excited to see the babies themselves? Either Tara or Dewdrop. I guess since Dewdrop was the original caretaker of this island, it would probably end up being him. So we'll bring him up here so we can meet the babies on the next turn. Or for that matter, maybe Bellatrix could make her way over here instead? I mean, we have so many little bunnies skittering around in the grasses. Oh my gosh, and there's one right now. If only you had one more turn's worth of energy. I suppose this could be Croissant's way to impress you. We'll bring him over there to grab that bunny. And Magic, you might just have to pick up those coconuts on the next turn too. I'm sure that our creatures over here would appreciate that quite a bit, since Dukereem is the only one who can pick them up otherwise. He's been a little bit preoccupied taking care of all of his babies. In fact, I think Katniss should be able to dig up that root now. So why don't we go ahead and have her do just that. Then I guess she could sniff around for a couple more. And interestingly enough, it seems to be bringing her straight over to the brand new baby. So I guess she can kind of funnel them back toward the rest of the tribe, because I'm sure Ramee could use a bit of help getting there. It might not seem like a long distance, but since she does have a little bit of trouble seeing, I feel like she would actually get her directions mixed up quite a bit. Maybe that would help explain how our tribe found her in the first place. Like, it wasn't only all of the food that drew her over in this direction. It wasn't just the food that she was trying to steal, but she was also a little bit lost and she couldn't find her old tree. So if not for our tribe, she may have been lost forever, just like that other wanderer. I feel like we should probably have Sapphire stay right here. That way she'll be able to lead the path for Lolly, and they can just discuss the terms, I guess. The terms of their alliance overnight. I'm not sure if we can say that these families have truly split off into different groups, but I do feel like Sapphire would want to be cautious around her babies. Like, Lolly's not the only one who knows how important these heat bodies are, and she doesn't want Sapphire to lose them for any nefarious reasons. She doesn't want their powers to fall into the wrong hands. So we should be ready to skip the turn one last time, and hopefully bring everybody over to this tiny tree. And what a more perfect day for it to rain. Oh, this is exactly what Lolly was hoping for. Now all of those berry bushes are going to be nice and bright again, full of berries just ripe for the picking. The only thing is, she's a little bit more curious about these heat-bodied babies, so I think she's going to have to leave the food collecting to Sapphire for now. Previously, we had decided that the spiky body might actually be like a lesser version of Melody's blessing. So it must be particularly interesting for somebody like Lolly to meet a creature with the perfect gift. There's no greater honor for the families that follow Melody's old ways. So there's no question in my mind that she's going to ask if her parents would allow them to set sail on the ports. It's kind of the perfect time for us to leave too, because Duke Reem is right at the end of his days. And I know that he would be so happy to see his babies move on to such great things. So it's not really a hard decision to make. As we give Aurelie her second gem, we'll usher her over to the flowery ports right on the side of the island. We could even have her set up like right at the front. I guess we'll scoot her here. And then we'd better have Katniss hurry up too so she can take a spot right next to her sister. I feel like those two would want to be side by side. We'll guide Mammoth through the grass, and I guess Ramee can settle down here too. Pick up the pathway for him just in case he has her unfortunate sense of direction. And now, Katniss, I think it's okay for you to make your way here too. We'll set you up right next to your sister, and you two can guard the shores for leeches. So I guess in the next episode, we should be ready to start doing our very quick island hopping. I'm expecting that this island is going to be one of the smaller ones, so we should be able to choose our direction quite quickly after. Fingers crossed it's going to have some sort of mountain for us to go to, but if it doesn't, we'll just follow our instincts to the best of our ability. Eventually the mountains will rise up from the ports again, and our ancient legends will be ready to carve through the snow like they never have before. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!